He's still the best regarded centre-half back in hurling, but even last weekend's performance against Offaly was really top drawer. The Banner management was forced into one change. The dismissal of Fergie Toohey before half-time 8 days ago results in the recall of Fergal Hegarty on the half-forward line. Team captain Anthony Daly returns to his usual half-back berth, with Frank Lohan moving into the corner to the exclusion of the talented Brian Quinn. It's a match which also gives us the chance to admire the talents of Galway full forward Joe Rabbit, deprived by injury of playing a full part in last year's championship. Changes since last week's win over Antrim see Gregory Kennedy replace Finbar Gantley at right corner back, Vinnie Marr moved to right half back, Cathal Moore moving into midfield alongside Liam Burke, with Rory Gantley positioned on the 40 in an otherwise unchanged forward line. The referee in charge here is Dickie Murphy from Wexford. Clare won the toss and they've opted to play against the breeze in the first half. And it'll be interesting to see how that works out. Galway feeling they have to win this match by a minimum of 4 points to go through to the semi-finals. And of course, always great rivalry between these neighbouring counties. Liam Burke for Galway. Down into the corner there. Dara Cohen allowing that one to run on. The challenge there from Alan Kearns against Anthony Daly. Still the chance here for Galway, and that's tapped over the bar nicely there by Cohen. First point of the match, and that after just 30 seconds. Brendan Linsky, one of a number of interesting people behind the scenes at the Galway hurling team. Nicely in towards Barry Murphy. Real race for possession. Niall Gilligan getting across for it, looking for the equaliser and firing it over the bar. Niall Gilligan from 6 Mile Bridge tying up the score then as they go point for point. Well, Barry Murphy here had lost the hurley, but he watched as Niall Gilligan came onto it, 20 metres out, and a fine equaliser. Lohan, that's Brian Lohan, of course. Wonderfully commanding figure at full-back, as always for Clare. Towards Niall Gilligan, runs on instead towards Barry Murphy. Barry Murphy making a lot of headway, looking for another score, but he rather mishit that one. Brian Feeney back there, he's in some trouble, the Galway captain and full-back, out as far as Clancy. The hand pass inside towards Jamesy O'Connor. 20 metres out, Jamesy hits it and puts it over the bar. A second point for Jamesy O'Connor. He really is an exciting player as Clare go in front here. Well, once that was hand passed back by Conor Clancy, it was on for Jamesy, and he doesn't miss those kind of chances. This is David Ford. Again, a good chance. And David Ford puts it over the bar. Young player from Ogunalo. So 4 points to 2. It was a significant occasion this for Cyril Farrell in charge of Galway. If they don't go through to the semi-finals, they'll have quite a gap until their next competitive match. And it's a huge one down towards Joe Rabbit. Runs on there nicely. Fed forward there. Here's a chance for Broderick. Good stop. Very good save indeed by Davy Fitzgerald. First real goal chance of the match. And it fell to the fresh man who's in that blue helmet there. Touchdown here by Paul Hardyman. Jamesy O'Connor running into a stiff challenge. Nicely back there by Liam Burke. And that's gone over the bar. It's a great point by Liam Burke. That's one that Galway really did need. And it's 4 points apiece. Fergal Hegarty beaten by Vinnie Marr. He's playing well at right half back. Into the hands of Dara Cohen. Good turn here against Frank Lohan. Where's it going to end up? Just inside the left-hand post, I think. Yes. It's a very good point by Cohen. It's 5 points to 4. Brian Lohan, superb play, partly blocked down that time by Kerins. Lohan again trying to pick this one up, running into all kinds of stern challenges, but being at his most defiant, needing some support here. Here's Sean McMahon trying to burst his way forward, stopped by Cathal Moore. To Joe Rabbit, look where he is, back around the 40-metre line. It's a huge shot by Rabbit, and that's a great score by Rabbit. And once again, Galway edge even further in front, 6 points to 4. This is where you felt Clare were about to make an effective clearance, but the effectiveness came from Cathal Moore down to Joe Rabbit, a huge distance out, and that sailed over the bar. So Galway with the scoring advantage, but they've also got the advantage of the breeze as Conor Clancy takes it. He's dragged back by Nigel Shaughnessy. They're having quite a day, the two of those lads, Shaughnessy and Clancy. Here's Sean McMahon. Always a very useful free taker from considerable distances out, as he proves once again. He can always be depended upon to score 3 or 4 points in a major match. From frees such as that one there, and he's made it 7 points to 5. Cyril still continued to play the game like a 16th man. Colin Lynch, meanwhile, dropping it back in here to Barry Murphy. Just about holding on, beating the attempted block and putting it over the bar for his first point of the match. Richie Burke again getting plenty of length into it. Just got the feeling Galway may need to pile on a few more points before half-time. Rabbit has it, out to Liam Burke. Broderick's just ahead of him. Here's a chance for Broderick. Trying to go by low, still Broderick. That's the first goal of the game. With 5 minutes to go to half-time. Kevin Broderick inevitably, the man with the goal touch, beat Frank Lowen for pace. Beat them all indeed, including the goalkeeper. Francis Ford now playing at right half forward, in towards Ollie Fahy. Blocked down there, Ollie now operating on the 40. Trying to go by Sean McMahon for the second time. Crossing the 45-metre line. Fahy losing the ball, and the referee saw a chop down in there, and he indicts one of the Clare defenders, having a word back there with Sean McMahon, and it's going to be a free in. It's going to be Dara Cohen who will take it. And he makes no mistake. He's now scored 7 points in this match, and there are 4 points between the teams, the margin by which Galway, it seems, have to win. Well, the referee has very justifiably allowed 2.5 minutes of injury time so far. Liam Burke challenging that one there, the final piece of action, the end of a lively first half. There was just 1 goal scored in the match, that in the 25th minute by Kevin Broderick. Might have had a second late in the half, but he was denied by the sheer persistence of the Clare backline. And at half-time, it's Galway by 4, 1-9 to 8 points. Galway lead by the margin with which they must win this match if they are to progress to the semi-finals of the Church in General National Hurling League. Into the attack straight away here with Alan Markham involved, and that's a very good shot, gone right over the bar there. Very fine point indeed, and that's scored by David Ford. Right at the beginning of this half, his second point right at the beginning of this half, and Ford just getting it through the posts. Daly leaving it behind there this time. Clancy sweeping it down. Markham made the first point of the second half, and he scores the second. That's a great point by Alan Markham. It's a bit like a conveyor belt. Clare come and produce some wonderful forward players, and they've made it 1-9 to 10 points. Liam Burke trying to touch it back in there. Francis Ford losing the stick. Burke once again, one-handed forward towards Alan Kearns. But this time it's Sean McMahon slipping it out with a hand pass to Liam Doyle. Clancy there taking it wonderfully well in the air. The hand pass outside here towards David Ford. From fully 50 metres out, he strikes it over the bar. That's a third point by David Ford. A second in the second half. And now the margin is down to just a solitary score. This was the catch that made it all possible here from Conor Clancy. Then some great distribution, spotting the run here of David Ford from 50 metres out inside the left-hand post. That's great defensive work by the man who's known for his sterling performance in attacks usually. Feeney trying to get it out, only as far as Barry Murphy. Barry Murphy getting the encouragement here from the crowd in Cusack Park, and he puts that one over the bar for his second point of the day and closes the gap the whole time on Galway. Some movement here on the Galway bench. Will they consider yet another switch? Clancy again, superb to David Ford, first time forward towards Niall Gilligan. Gilligan, nice turn here against Liam Hodgins, good shot, and that's gone straight between the posts. That's another one there for Niall Gilligan. And so they're level, 13 points to 110. That's a great bit of fielding there by Joe Rabbit, who's moved out towards right half forward. This is Cathal Moore looking for another one, and he's put it over the bar. Cathal Moore's first, but another for Galway. That was a wonderful score, and so Galway have a 1 point lead. It's a terrific match. Joe Rabbit made the catch, of course, to set up Cathal Moore, and play anywhere Moore shows he's also a point scorer. Approaching the midway point in this second half. That's Brian Feeney dropping that one down there. Again, it's Clare who are trying to apply the pressure. Captain getting away from Anthony Daly, team captain, getting away from Gregory Kennedy. David Ford striking this one beautifully down towards Barry Murphy. That's a good looking shot, and that's gone over the bar. That's a third point by Barry Murphy. But there was a great deal of cohesiveness about the way they approached this, Clare. From David Ford's pass across to Barry Murphy, went out, made space for himself, and that was enough. Justin Campbell, by the way, has got into left half forward. Liam Burke contesting, it's Liam Doyle who takes it. Justin Campbell's man. Nicely down here, it's lost by Gregory Kennedy. And Clare can apply pressure here. Conor Clancy. Nice ball outside to Colin Lynch. And that's a great strike by Lynch. A second point by Clare's number 9. So they level yet again. Liam Burke. Nice catch. Still making some ground. First pursued by Colin Lynch, then Jamesy O'Connor. Now it's Alan Kearns. Trying to put his side in front. Kearns has the chance. They're working inside towards Dara Cohen. Cohen putting this one between the posts, and that's 12 points in all. So it's 115 to 17 points. Cyril Farrell on his knees, watching. Daly having a bit of work to do to try and take that away from Alan Kearns. Cross towards Kevin Broderick. Broderick going for it! He's got it! It's a magnificent second goal by Kevin Broderick. Galway may have the advantage they're looking for. Broderick the man. That's a wonderful strike for Cyril Farrell's team. But how important will those two Broderick goals be at the end of the 60 minutes? David Ford, the angle ball across towards Niall Gilligan. Hodgins breathing down his neck. Gilligan picking it up well, 45 metres out, striking with the left and putting it over the bar. A third for Gilligan. 3 points the margin, and they're a bit happier. If it stays like this, it will be Clare who'll go through to the semi-finals along with Limerick from this particular group. This is Alan Kearns trying to locate Justin Campbell, picking out Liam Doyle instead. Down towards Barry Murphy. Feeney is in there in the thick of the action. Comes out towards Murphy once again. Jamesy O'Connor at the end of all of this, trying to go by Liam Hodgins. He's dragged down, and it's a free in for Clare. Richie Burke. He does the organising. It's Jamesy to take it. He's content with a point. That's 6 points from this match for Jamesy O'Connor in a game which is now 1 minute into injury time, and it's 2:15 or 21 points to 19. So now all eyes on the referee. His whistle sounds, and by our calculations, it's Clare who are going through to the semi-finals of the National League. In Ennis, it finishes Galway 2-15. That's 21 points. Clare 19 points.
Yes, the win for Galway in Ennis, but how that affected the playoff situation we'll find out a little bit later on in the programme. Right now, though, well, the meeting of Waterford and